All right.
Thank you for tuning in to Ktown Social Club. Oh, wait. From Koreatown, Los Angeles. This is where Koreans gather to talk about the issues you really care about. We're the only show that offers perspectives from all sides of the political spectrum. From the far left to the far right, we cover it all. And
Read
it. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment.
Smash
that like button.
Smash the notification bell and subscribe to our channel. And you can follow us all on social media, which is in the description below. I put it on the last video, so we can copy and paste.
I noticed that. Can we actually get links this time instead of just?
We need to make little by little. So thank you for tuning in to Ktown Social Club. Here we are together. Oh, joined Michael Wan, Ed Choi, and Douglas Kim. Mm-hmm. Thank you for tuning in and being back together with us on Ktown Social Club.
I noticed that we are at 900, or this might have changed, but we are at 998
Right, almost
subscribers.
1K subscribers.
And when you get 1,000,
Oh, on YouTube?
yeah,
UB2B?
I think something happens, but I'm not sure.
YouTube.
You might be able to monetize. I don't think we should.
Oh,
because
we reached 1,000.
we don't want to scare anyone away with ads yet.
Ads.
It's 1,000.
It's
Oh,
1,000.
we
I
hit
guess
it.
it happened
We
today.
did it. Because I think it's like
Because it was 3 more.
after 100, you can make a name. After 1,000, after 10,000, you could do live streaming or something. I don't know, something
I don't
like
know,
that.
But 550 times more of this will be like Ed.
Oh, is it 500 more times?
Yeah.
And how many followers do you have on your
not a
highest
lot.
one? Is it Twitter or?
I don't. It's not.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because yours got
Okay.
banned a lot. That's why.
I mean, that's part of
Twitter.
it, but
If you combine all your accounts,
I'm not. I mean, obviously, my content is not mainstream, so I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't even think that I would ever get X amount of views.
What do you think
Unless
about-
the
I
political.
mean, what's his face is like 1 million plus, right?
Oh, you mean Jackson Hingle?
Yeah.
I think that's due to a variety of other factors, but yeah, I don't really want to.
whiteness.
It's not because of communism, but other
Gotta
issues,
hit the
right?
gym.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, this morning, was it this morning? Somebody texted, I think it was Ed, about a communist-linked group marches in New York City.
Yeah.
And Doug's response was like, "Oh, this is the beginning of the Asian American Holocaust."
No.
Yes.
So let me get into this real. Let me just summarize this real quick. What I was able to do. So the New York Post came out with this article. It says protesters with ties to the Chinese Communists march in support of New York City lawmaker accused of biting an NYC cop. So Councilwoman Susan Zhuang allegedly bit a cop in the arm during a homeless shelter protest. Now, she was trying to prevent officers from arresting another woman at the protest, I think a senior citizen, and she was pulled away by a cop and she bit him in the arm. She herself was also bruised with back pain and bruises on legs, arms, wrists. There were so this was at a protest against a homeless shelter, right?
Yeah.
So now there are new protests with hundreds marching in support of Zhuang. On Sunday the 28th, they were marching from Manhattan to Brooklyn. There were flyers saying things like "Save Our Community" and "Equal Justice of Susan Zhuang." Now, I'm trying to think what's the link to communists here, and according to the New York Post, there's one flyer at the event that listed the number for a guy named John Chan, who heads an organization called BRACE, which I was able to find out stands for Asian American Community Empowerment. I don't know where the B and R comes from.
Yeah, but that
That's
doesn't
what I
stand
was-
for brace
Right.
at all.
Where's the B?
But New York Post claims that BRACE is has close ties to what is known as the United Front. And the United Front is a group of organizations affiliated with the CCP, or the Communist Chinese Party, whatever, whose mandate is to spread communism worldwide. So,
That's such a reach, though.
yeah, it is a reach,
Yeah, it's
right?
like it reminds me of like that GIF in what's that show, like that crazy guy going like that with like all these things in the background on the pinup.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
right?
You know that GIF where
always
he's like,
what? Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That sounds like that. Like, oh, this is connected to this, which is connected to this, and it's connected to China.
But they're
you know?
reaching.
Yeah, and that's kind of like why I say it's the Holocaust, because this is what the Nazis did. They made some insane leap that Jews were, part of the the majority of the Soviet Union, or they were controlling the Soviet Union, and they were going to destroy Nazi Germany with the Soviet Union or with communism. They were going to do the same thing to Germany, even though like there were barely any Jews in like leadership in positions in Germany.
Are you being a little bit sympathetic to the Jewish people during that?
Yes, of course. Yeah. Why wouldn't I be sympathetic?
No. I mean, it was wrong, but I mean, maybe comparing it to like Nazi propaganda is one thing, but there was deaths in the Holocaust.
Yeah, those deaths happened. Like mostly during the war.
Yeah, I know, but I guess
so I'm saying like what it is. It's leading up to it. You didn't go in 1933. They didn't go from zero to Holocaust. Like on day one.
Yeah,
there was a lot of propaganda that they even started in. When the Nazi Party started in 1919. So when they started in 1919, they were starting their propaganda, and that ended with the putsch in 1923 when he was arrested. But then like he's built his Mein Kampf, like his ideology, and then in 1925 they relaunched and like.
No, I get all of that. I'm just saying the comparison to the Holocaust.
No, I don't know. I don't care about the insensitivity part, because we have gotten so much hate crimes in the past 4 years. I am fucking beyond sensitivity at that point.
That is Doug's opinion.
No, because also we have already experienced our own fucking Holocaust, and nobody even fucking talks about that. So why do I have to be sensitive about this fucking event when nobody gives a shit about the Japanese war crimes?
I mean, that's different than what's happening here with the media. So
I don't fucking give a shit. I don't fucking give a shit, because you're trying to do the whole like Western, like Western centering of this Holocaust as the worst thing ever. When we experience something just as bad, we experience something just as bad. We experienced something just as bad.
But our government and media hasn't been putting us into.
Yes, they have. Well, not death
from
camps.
This.
Yeah, but we are seeing the precursor to these events. They didn't start with fucking concentration camps. They started with pogroms in Nazi Germany, which is what's happening to us today.
Compare it to that is what I'm saying. I'm just saying, let's just be.
No, I'm not gonna fucking mince words about this just to assuage people's Westerners' feelings. I'm gonna
clear up that is your
fine.
Opinion
it is my opinion, and it's not yours. But I'm saying, I am saying that there are parallels to be drawn from this.
Okay.
And I'm not going to be fucking silenced by, that's just an exaggeration. Well, fuck that.
I didn't say that.
No one's going to silence you here. You're free to say whatever you want. So, I appreciate your anger for the community. You don't think it's as bad as...
Oh, no. I'm not saying it's not bad. I'm just saying, words, try to be careful with words.
No.
Right, okay.
I don't fucking care about that.
All right.
Careful for who? Who am I being careful for?
For the community.
The Zionists?
No, because to compare it to that.
The Holocaust and murder Palestinian children?
No,
am I being sensitive to that?
Because sometimes when you use words like that, it can take things out of context. And
it's not out of context,
could be damaging to the stuff that we're trying to fight for. Because sometimes
it is not out of context. It is exactly the same sort of shit that the Nazis did before the Holocaust.
Correct, before the Holocaust.
Yeah. And my thing is to prevent another Asian Holocaust from happening.
Right.
So I want to sound the alarm bells as loud as I can.
Yeah, but that's like saying that hey, verbal abuse. That's like saying that
when they say never forget, what does that mean?
That's like saying
how
that
do we prevent
someone is verbally abusive and calling them a murderer just because it could lead to that.
Sure, but how do we prevent another Holocaust? We have to figure out what the signs are before that.
No, I'm not arguing with
what? Maybe it's a little exaggerating to call that precursor to Holocaust.
I'm saying
because we need to be sensitive to other people.
I just want to point out that when I said the murder analogy, you said right. So that's the point that I'm talking about. I'm just saying we have to use the right words to make sure that we're being as accurate as possible, because we're going to lose people. You're going to lose people if
this is just semantic jibber-jab.
But
lose people
matter.
Lose people. We don't have people.
Right. So isn't it more important to get people
we
to
need to shock people into figuring out what the fuck is going on, because they are having their heads in the sand right now.
That's not
the Asian American community has their heads in the fucking sand for the past 4 years.
But so you're saying it. You're admitting to the fact that you're saying it to get a shock factor, and that's not necessarily accurate.
because it's going to fucking happen if we don't get our act together.
All right. Michael, any thoughts on this? What do you think of this discussion between Ed and Doug?
So, Doug, you were saying that it started like 4 or 5 years ago, like this propagating of Asian anti-hate crime.
Well,
and
like
this can accumulate, right?
Exponential growth of it, yes.
Personally, I really think, I talked about it with you too before, the Asian hate crime, I remember when it was on the front page story on the LA Times when Asian hate crime suddenly hit the news, mainstream media.
Yeah.
And it was from 9 counts to 15 counts. So which, one too many, okay? One too many, but 9 counts to 15 counts, and they said 150% it went up. To me, it felt like it was an election year, presidential election years. They wanted to get rid of Donald Trump no matter what, so they pushed this anti-hate Asian crime, and then they pinned all of this to Trump. And I think they succeeded that. Sure. They wanted to put all the minorities aligned together for the Democratic Party.
It wasn't just 15. That's just a lie.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking about LA Times reporting the first time. So I really remember every day, starting from that day, every day there was an anti-Asian hate crime report. And what I worried was, I worried about copycat crimes. People who would read this, of course, reporters are reporting this to prevent all this, but there are people who would get influenced by this and pick on Asians too.
Because when they see them not getting prosecuted, that's when the copycat crimes happen.
So
it did go up close to 400%.
And later down the road, mainstream media decided not to mention the perpetrators' ethnicity.
Especially after Biden was elected, right? Exactly. You see how they stopped talking about it at all.
Exactly. So I felt like we were all just falling into this trap to the in the big picture, what the mainstream media was trying to push us. You guys gotta just hate on Trump, because it was a presidential election year, 2020, right? And I think a lot of people fell into that. That's what that's how I felt.
Because this is protest, for example, is part of the wider picture of what New York City liberals are trying to do to the Asian American community. A couple of years ago, it was, hey, let's put this huge ass jail in the middle of Chinatown. Now they want to put the whole fucking homeless shelter in China. They basically want all the criminals to keep attacking Asian Americans. That's what's fucking going on.
So, like, in Koreatown...
That's what I'm talking about, why it's the fucking Holocaust, because they're indirectly directing violence towards Asian Americans and trying to put it under this fucking progressive veneer.
Yeah, there's a Los Angeles angle here, too. In Los Angeles, when they decided to put the first shelter, they decided to put it right in the middle of Koreatown.
That's what I'm fucking saying!
So I think they did it because they looked down on Korean Americans.
Not only that, they want all of the criminals to be concentrated in Asian-related places, because if they attack Asian people, nothing fucking happens. No one cares about it. No one cries out. No political thing happens. But so they're using this to make themselves look like we're just being progressive, or we're just trying to solve this issue.
I don't know. It's more than that.
No. That is what it is.
But in this situation, on the homeless shelter between Wilshire and Vermont, the Korean community did rise up. We had a huge protest. I think there were like 2,000 plus people protesting here in the middle of Koreatown. I would say we don't like this. We don't like this idea. Why did you have to pick Koreatown out of all the places in Los Angeles?
Exactly.
And we protested and we moved it. Yeah. So we succeeded on that front.
So that's what the Chinese people are trying to do now.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's because they want violence more than they just think that this community here is probably going to not object as hard as, say, this community.
It's not that they're going to not object as hard. It's just that their objection is not even going to be heard.
I mean, both for sure, but I don't know that it's necessarily violence driven, as in
No, it's not that it's violence driven. It's just knowing that
this community is probably
going to create a lot of violence.
Fight for it.
No matter where you put it, it's going to start a lot of violence in whatever area you put it. And so let's throw it to the Asians because no one gives a fuck what happens.
Okay, but that's different than saying that they're putting it there because they want violence towards Asians.
So the biggest problem regarding
it's the same
that
fucking shit. I don't care what the fucking intent is. No, I don't fucking care what the intent is. The fucking policy is racist, and that is the end of the fucking story.
But I think the problem is regarding that shelter issue. We found out later on, the community found out that most of the Korean American nonprofit organization leaders, the community leaders, supported that idea. And that's what...
Supported which idea?
Supported that idea to put that shelter in the middle of Koreatown.
Who?
So which the Korean American nonprofit organization leaders, the community leaders.
That's what I'm saying.
So what
These
I'm saying
are
is
liberal
yeah,
organizations that have been fucking co-opted by white liberals.
So
they don't represent the community.
That's what we've found out in the community. There was an outrage about that.
Yeah,
too,
those are the same.
They
fucking
were the ones
you know who they
led
are?
that charge.
They're the same fucking scumbags who went in the LA riots. They were like, oh, we're the Harvard-educated lawyers. We're not like those rooftop Koreans. We're not like those gangpes. Those are the same exact fucking pieces of shit.
So I think our community does have that issue where some of our
Korean
portion,
liberals
they
are
do
just
align.
exactly like that. They just all fucking ethnic liberals are traitors to their own communities to get points from white liberals.
It felt like they were traitors.
They are fucking traitors. I'm not saying they felt like they fucking are.
During that shelter.
Yeah, I mean, they probably did it to further their own career for sure.
Yeah,
that's the reason why.
And it was a shame, and people felt because Korean Americans, they don't want to. Of course, we want to help out the homeless people, but we don't want it right in the middle of Koreatown because Korean community people were saying, "Look at Skid Row. Did you guys ever clean that up?" So the community felt like they were importing that kind of community over here.
Because
in
they
the middle
are.
of
That's
Koreatown.
what they're trying to
And
do.
that was
Well, the other thing is when the Koreans started protesting against it, it looked really bad because
Exactly.
the news was
There
all
was
over
another,
like.
and then they
That's what
twisted,
I'm
they
saying.
twisted
They're
again.
all coordinating to make
again.
Korean or
Yeah.
Asian people look like, oh,
Like
see,
NIMBY,
these are
NIMBY.
white supremacists. They just don't want these homeless people here because they're white supremacists.
Well, but even there were white people leaving comments online saying, "Look at these ungrateful Koreans. After we fought for them and freed them, they come here now. They're, look how ungrateful they are. Like, why aren't they? But it made us look really bad.
Like they portrayed us like NIMBYs, not in my backyard. But yet they don't want to put it in their backyard.
they're the fucking
too.
NIMBYs.
Like they wouldn't put it in Beverly Hills. They wouldn't put it in these nice
I would
fancy
say,
areas.
okay, I supported it, but at the same time, I feel like they should also put them in Beverly Hills and those places like that. But I did think it was weird that Koreatown was the first place.
The first place. It was an outrage, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I felt, man, out of all the places, how come all the bad ones, all the negative issues, we tend to be the first one.
Whenever there's an issue where social justice needs to be rectified,
something like that too.
It all started with affirmative action, and now it's all going to fucking Chinatowns and Koreatowns. It's just like they're just pushing the line because they know and they believe that we don't have a political voice, which is fucking true.
Right. Right on, brother. I don't know what to say. Okay, so let's go back to this thing. So I was reading this article and I'm like, brace. So I had to look up what is brace. I want to check for myself. They had a website. It's not working anymore. So it doesn't seem a very significant or big organization. It might even just be this one guy, John Chan. And I looked up, okay, so what is the United Front? And then it's kind of, I guess it is government related, but there's hundreds, maybe thousands of organizations and involved with this United Front. That includes the Buddhist Association of China, the Islamic Association of China, the Catholic Patriotic Association, the Institute for China-American Studies, All China Federation of Industry and Commerce, and more. So anything that has anything to do with China, any organization could be part of this collective, which means this guy, John Chan, all he has to do is know somebody from one of these organizations and they can say he's CCP linked. Just like I know that one actress who is a CCP member and they can say, oh, he's linked to the Communist Party because he knows that actress. So I don't see what...
Yeah, but to write a whole headline based off of one guy's...
So it is ridiculous. Wild. I mean, what is the point of this? Like, why are they doing this? And there's nearly 600 of these so-called organizations, part of the United Front in the U.S. already. So it seemed like with that headline,
they're trying to take away support from the woman who bit the cop.
But on top of that, they're also implying that China is supporting attacks on American police officers, which, what's the message of that? Is China is attacking our people, China's our enemy, fuck China, right? So what's this going to do? Like, obviously, this is going to cause people to hate Chinese even more now. And, it's the trickle-down or whatever effect. Some of those people, one day when they're angry about something or whatever, frustrated, they see a random Chinese woman or whatever, they might just take their frustration out on them, no? What do you think?
I mean, ordinary people, anybody with common sense
you
shouldn't.
Obviously know what I think. So.
But, I mean, we talked about the copycat people, people just get influenced by all these. And, it's a shame. Yeah.
Common sense, yeah, of course not. But, this is America.
Yeah.
It's not so common here, right? So I did look for other articles that wrote about this. Most of the headlines were more like community rallies around the councilwoman or whatever. It was only the New York Post that was just straight up like protesters with ties to Chinese communists.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a tabloid, but
is it actually considered a tabloid?
It is considered a tabloid.
New York Post is it's the oldest paper in America, though.
But like it's classified as a tabloid because I think it's considered an actual journalist publication.
It is, but it's kind of both.
It's an American conservative daily tabloid, according to Wikipedia. It is owned by News Corporation, and as we know, News Corporation also runs the
Fox News.
Not anymore, but they do have the it's separate. It's split off. News Corp is no longer
but
the parent company.
If we're going to talk about associations like the New York Post just made, then they are.
Yeah, they're essentially
they're tied to Trump now.
New York Post, Wall Street Journal, Barron's publisher, HarperCollins, previously on Fox News.
Yeah.
Lots of UK and Australian media as well. So
the Five Eyes.
Five Eyes, yeah.
What is it? US,
UK, Australia,
Canada, New Zealand.
New Zealand. Why New Zealand? That tiny little.
And those Five Eyes share information with each other, right?
Intelligence information.
New Zealand. All they have is Kiwis and sheep shearing.
It's just like Anglo-speaking, former like colonies of the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all countries that got away with colonialism in the modern day. All of them.
So.
Except maybe UK.
Why is conservative media anti-Asian?
What do you mean?
This is conservative media.
I mean,
right?
both liberal and conservative media is anti-Asian. They just do it in different ways. I mean, conservatives are just openly, anti-China, anti-quote-unquote CCP.
So conservatives...
The liberals try to, like, say, like, oh, look at these ungrateful NIMBYs.
How would the liberals spin this headline? Protesters with ties to Chinese Communist march in support of NYC lawmaker.
They would say exactly what I'm talking about. They would say, oh, look at these Chinese NIMBYs. They hate black people. Okay. That's what they would do.
So conservatives will say these Chinese are fucking evil, and liberals will say, oh, these Chinese hate black people.
Because they hate black people, yeah.
I think conservative media are probably more anti-China. I don't know whether anti-Asia, but definitely they have an
They like Asian women.
Yeah, they're anti-China, I think.
I mean, that's because of imperialism, but whatever. That's too long to go into.
Because I think the United States at large kind of see China as a threat, economic threat too, because GDP-wise, America's 25% of the world. China is jumping
I think it's around
by leaps and 18% right now. So by year 2030, some people say that China will eclipse America.
But like
so
Chinese, even like Chinese
threat.
or communists, we don't think about like things like, oh, we have to overtake them.
I know.
Like,
that's what I heard.
We want to
that's what I heard.
Cooperate.
I think America's
win-win.
That's more of a Western mentality.
Because they're still imperialists at heart. They think we have to dominate in order to be rich. That's basically their policy. Their foreign policy is basically you don't do what we say, we go into your country and fuck you up. That's what they're trying to do in Venezuela right now. They're trying to like reverse the election and trying to like force some sort of military intervention.
With Eduardo versus, right?
They're just like pumping
Maduro.
up this fake propaganda that it was like Maduro. That it was a fake election. When there was no indication whatsoever of that.
Even the president of Argentina.
Yeah, Argentina. He threatened a military action, and he's just fucking up that country too. I mean,
isn't he a libertarian? Aren't they supposed to be for non-intervention?
He's a Zionist libertarian, and he's already like increased inflation by 250% in Argentina in like a few months in office.
I remember about 20.
He's a right winger, right?
Yeah.
Well, he's a libertarian.
Yeah.
Any Zionist is a right winger.
First time in decades for a conservative party to win in Argentina. That's what I heard, right? And I think that's what because I think people were because Argentina was suffering from inflation for decades, right?
But now it's even worse.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like what?
And
because the reason why there's such interest in that area now is, well, obviously, Venezuela has a lot of oil.
Check this out.
That's crazy.
So it used to be $1 to 1 Argentine peso.
Yeah, back in the day.
Prior to like 2001.
Do 1 year.
And then starting in like 2003, it was like 3, and then now it's like 930.
Do just 1 year so we can see when he came into office. Yeah, so that's when you see that big spike.
Yeah.
These are just the official rates. Now I hear on the black market you can get many more pesos for the dollar.
Sure.
But yeah.
But yeah, so there's obviously Venezuela has a lot of oil, right? That the United States is looking at.
They were one of the richest countries.
But not only that,
day,
that
right?
whole kind of block, that Argentina, whatever, they're finding a lot of lithium reserves. Like there's estimated 65% of the world's lithium is in that kind of area.
So battery could be used for electric cars.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's why Elon Musk is saying a lot about this election.
Venezuela, right?
Got it. Obviously Tesla.
He talked about it. The tweet.
Look at Elon Musk. He's saying
taking it from Congo.
Major election fraud by Maduro, according to Elon Musk. And he retweets this thing. It says, Venezuela invents new percentage for election results. Turns out you can have more than 100%. According to local TV, 109% of the votes divided between the candidates. So it looks like 51 plus 44, what is that, 95.4 plus 4.6. Wait, then that'll be 100.
Yeah, that'll be 104.6.
So I'm guessing, this might be that these last 3 got 4.6 actually. But
you mean cumulatively?
Yeah, so I don't know. It might be a fucked up graphic.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, they have 4.6 combined geniuses.
Yeah, that's probably just like not being able to read Spanish.
But someone says, more than obvious, there was election fraud. What else? Now there's another screen that says 132%.
So Venezuela is a lithium-rich country. They have a lot of natural resources there, huh?
Yeah. Venezuela is lithium-rich? I didn't know that.
I
know that Bolivia is.
It's believed that they probably have lithium there, but they haven't been discovered yet. Right. But it's just kind of like that region of the Earth, I guess, has a lot of lithium in it.
I remember.
No wonder Elon Musk. Because I was wondering why is Elon Musk paying attention to Venezuela?
4 years ago, you know what happened? Basically, someone's like from Bolivia was like, "Oh, like you guys coup everyone all the time, whatever," because Bolivia was going through something, and there was a lot of lithium, obviously in Bolivia. And then Elon Musk says, we will coup whoever we want. Deal with it."
Yeah, that was, I think, in 2020, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm looking for that tweet.
That's too long time ago, I guess, for you to find it.
It was 2020. So you could
what
just
happens when CEOs have such political ties.
I don't know if he still has it up.
The corporate way to do things is monopoly, right? You just buy up everyone, take over.
Yeah, here it is.
Takeovers.
Almost 4 years ago, July 25th, 2020. You know what wasn't in the best interest of people? The U.S. government organizing a coup against Evo Morales in Bolivia so you could obtain the lithium there. We will coup whoever we want. Deal with it. So Elon Musk, he's not really because libertarians are not supposed to be for overthrowing.
I don't think he's a libertarian. I don't think he ever was.
Yeah, but he talked about how Ayn Rand was like his hero or whatever, and
I think a lot of conservatives say that. Yeah, but I don't know.
But Ayn Rand's books, she talked about the capitalists who were corrupt and would work with the government to get deals and benefits and things. So Elon Musk is praising someone who, even in her own books, painted capitalists like him to be villains. So he's actually one of the villains in even Ayn Rand's books. So Elon Musk, what is he? Is he just a...
What year was this? 2020?
2020. Yeah, Elon Musk is just a...
I mean, I think there's...
Selfish idiot.
I see the positive on just buying the Twitter and kind of releasing the people. Like Doug, you were banned too, right? But now he revived his...
I think it's just...
And I think a lot of people were kind of tired of it because to be shadow banned on YouTube and all over the place, we needed an outlet. I think Elon Musk did a good on that one.
I think it was fine until he visited Israel.
He changed.
Then, a lot of stuff started getting banned and censored as well.
So are you saying that, Trump took a bullet, right? Are you saying they kind of threatened him somehow, Elon Musk?
It's possible. I mean, he was, at that, there's that Ghislaine Maxwell picture with him, right? So
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah.
So what? I did not see that one. He was with Elaine Maxwell? Ghislaine Maxwell?
It was at one of the big parties that he threw. So ostensibly, it could have just been like he was at a party and he was...
Epstein Island?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Elon likes the young ones, right?
Go to images.
Oh, there is.
Wasn't he with that really young...
This one?
Yeah.
I've seen this
Grimes.
one. Yeah, Elon. Yeah, Grimes looked kind of young.
Grimes is his daughter, right?
No, he was married to her.
Sorry, Marty. Yeah,
I think they had
I don't think they were married, but they had
AEX 12
they had
or something.
2 babies. Maybe.
They did have 2?
Wasn't she a communist or something like that?
No, she just read a book that said Communist Manifesto. Okay. That doesn't mean anything.
She read Karl Marx then.
It was just like a photo op of her reading Communist Manifesto, but it's just kind of like that. That
it's a short book
where how LeBron was reading the biography of Malcolm X on a bicycle, but it was obviously on page 1.
I don't think he passed
it's
through
too intense.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah.
So why did Elon Musk go to Israel with Ben Shapiro? Why is he going? Do you think they have a Daily Wire
to be given instructions?
Why?
Yeah. I want to know your thought. You think they picked?
I mean,
it's
you
Ben
know what
Shapiro?
I think that Mossad probably has something on him, and they brought him to Israel and said, "You don't do what we say, we're gonna fuck you up."
Do you think Ben Shapiro's a Mossad agent too?
I don't know if he's a Mossad agent. I think he's just a shill for Israel.
Because he's the only conservative who is not shadow banned. Everybody talks about it. Ben Shapiro is the only guy who has never been shadow banned. Everybody else pretty much did,
Because he toes the line. I mean, that's what Elon has to do. He has to shadow ban everyone else, except unless you're a hardcore Zionist.
Because I was asking myself, why is he doing an interview with Ben Shapiro out of the blue? He didn't even hint it out of the blue. He just
Elon Musk.
Yeah,
he did an interview.
He did an 1-hour interview with Ben Shapiro out of the blue. And people didn't even expect him to go to Israel out of the blue too. And then I think after that he became very pro-Israel. He's very pro-Israel now.
And it was funny because in 2022 when Jonathan Greenblatt came after him, the ADL, he said, "Hey, stop defaming me!" Like he was like trolling the Zionists.
Wasn't Elon
Anti-Defamation League?
Wasn't Elon more of a Candace Owens fan rather than a Ben Shapiro fan?
Well, he was just more of like a free speech fan.
And then he suddenly changed.
Stop defaming me. Like he was saying, blah blah blah, all these things about Zionists.
Yeah, so he wasn't really about free speech. It was just that the people that were being censored were what he agreed with, so he wanted them to have a voice. Right?
Yeah, not only that, it's just like once he got called to Israel, it was like got a new set of directives, obviously. Because until then, like all of Jackson Hinkle's posts, for example, they were getting like millions of hits.
Still is. Still is getting a lot.
Still is a little bit, but like they got
much
nerfed.
more. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, I did hear ever since Elon Musk took over, they analyzed whether conservatives did get unshadow bans.
Yeah.
But they found out that the shadow ban is still intact, many of them.
Well,
and
so
more liberals
I think like
getting exposure.
In that first year, so he took over in 2022.
Yeah.
And then right when that happened in November 2023, that's when stuff started getting like censored again or shadow banned.
Yeah, they did start to shadow ban again, I heard, yeah. And I think Elon probably changed. Something happened to him. Who knows? Who knows, man?
He got the call.
He was critical of Israel, right?
He was just saying like stop, he was just saying stop defaming me, to like cuz back when he took over Twitter, Jonathan Greenblatt and everyone were like, "Oh, this he's, Elon's anti-Semitic and all this other stuff."
Yeah, I remember that. He was accused of being anti-Semitic for a while.
Yeah, and then he was making fun of them.
That went on for like a month, and then this Israel trip happened, right?
Exactly, because even before that, he was like, like to everyone, I don't give a fuck you. He was pretending to be like, I'm free of any sort of influence.
Hey, so if they are that powerful, Mossad or whoever it is, who can, beat them down? Who can be the one who can just,
I mean, in America,
overcome this force or whatever you want to say.
Like by themselves, no one. You need the masses. That's why a communist movement is the only real thing that can overthrow something like that.
All right. Hey, so, all right, I actually thought we were going to talk about this Asian Holocaust thing longer, but we got through it pretty quickly. And, for now, let's read some comments on our latest video.
Okay.
MAGA Communist Party. So it was called what? It was originally called...
MAGA Communist Party.
It was called MAGA Communism and a Korean Spy. Last night I changed the title to New MAGA Communist Party and a Korean Spy, just to see if it helps. I don't know. And... follow us on social media here.
Your ADHD is activated.
That's what I'm saying. This should all be links, so you could just click on it. Why would?
Wait, we can link these?
You can put links on the
description.
Bottom,
you would have to write the full link. Yeah.
Yeah, but like people don't have to like cut and paste,
or
put it in a thing. Instagram.com/rlons213.
We get it. Yeah.
Douglas have been emphasizing on this for a while. Yeah.
It is 2024, I will say.
But we have some comments here. I think you should invite Joo-hyun Park to talk about Korea.
God.
Ji-hyun Park.
That's Hermit Hwarang, right?
Yeah.
Is he Nodutor? Or is he...
biggest grifter in all of fucking Asian America.
But why is he a grifter? When I read his stuff, he seems like a kind of like you, just maybe not as fiery, but he seems like you.
No, he's a liberal. Yeah.
Okay, so Ji-hyun Park is a liberal who supports North Korea. All right.
Yeah, for his own brand.
What's his brand?
Just like grifting.
Oh, like just his name.
Yeah.
Oh.
He didn't start Nodatol.
I know Nodator's been around for a long time.
Yeah, because they're a bunch of liberals too.
But they've been around for decades, haven't they?
No. They've only been around since 2021.
No, I thought they were around since the 90s.
Check it.
You know Nodator?
I know
Subak?
Nodutor, yeah.
Subak is another 99. See, 25 years.
Well, whoever it is, they're mostly dominated by like Gen Z, like liberals,
like mainstream liberals. When you say liberals,
yeah.
Well, I think when they were formed in 99, the millennials and the Gen X, it was too early to get them into like communism or learning about that. But I think Gen Z are more open because they've had the internet their whole lives.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Right. So they've only come to like quote unquote prominence in the past few years because it became popular to be anti-American.
Yeah, and they were always just in New York, but I think they have an LA branch now. I think it is headed by a Gen Z. So I don't know. I think that's kind of good to spread pro-North things or pro-unification, pro-peace, ending Korean War message to Korean people, even if
not
they're
if
liberals.
it's co-opted by someone like that. That's all I'll say.
Okay. So okay. Next comment.
You're saying that
we've talked about.
You're saying that there's a figure.
But we've talked about him, and I remember you don't like him. I just don't remember specifically why.
Well, I'll bring the whole host of stuff next time then, because I need to bring about my research so I have it all in front of me.
Right, but you see, this is what I mean by like the communist infighting.
He's not a communist.
So you're saying that there's a figurehead behind, right?
He doesn't know the first thing about communism. What?
There's a figurehead behind, like controlling Nojutur, or pretty much.
It's not a figurehead. It's just like, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but
I know you know communism really well because you've read all the books and all that stuff. But I'm just saying, from my perspective, from what I hear, you say these people don't know about communism. I've had people tell me, "Hey, Doug doesn't know communism."
No, I literally read all of the Marxist and Leninist texts. Do they?
I know. So I've seen you read those books. I'm like, you
get me into a room with him, I will destroy him in any sort of debate about communism.
What makes you think it's a him?
What, Joo-hyun?
No, I'm not saying he said it, but there are other communists.
Whatever,
or
fine. Whoever it is. Let's go. Bring them on. Bring them on.
But this is what I mean, right?
Bring them on.
You're not disproving it.
They all point at each other saying, "You're not a real communist. I'm the real communist."
Bring them on.
But you do admit that exists in the communist community, right?
Yeah, they're Trotskyites.
Right, but there's a lot of people.
The Trotskyists were saying Stalin isn't a real communist in the 1920s. That's where it all originated.
Oh,
the Soviet Union isn't practicing actual communism. Now it's Stalin's totalitarian rule. That's where that originally came from.
Was Gorbachev a communist?
No.
Okay.
He also lied about Stalin too. Khrushchev, Gorbachev, they both lied about Stalin to bolster their own careers.
What about Brezhnev? Was he a communist?
No,
he
didn't lie. He didn't lie about Stalin.
So even a lot of the Soviet leaders were not really communists either.
Well, after Stalin died, I mean, like Khrushchev kind of changed the whole system, so it's too hard to explain on.
Yeah, but isn't most beliefs a spectrum?
Oh God.
You know what I mean? But isn't that part of the problem? Is that everyone thinks that they're purists and their ideals are exactly the same, instead of realizing that
communism,
some point you have
it's
to find
all about
ground.
what fucking worked, and Marxist ideology worked, Leninist ideology worked. That's why we call ourselves Marxist-Leninists. We don't call ourselves Marxist Trotskyists. We don't call ourselves Marxist Maoists. We don't call ourselves Marxist whatever. We call ourselves Marxist-Leninists.
Oh, you have issue with Mao too? Mao?
If you deviate from Marxism-Leninism, the tenets of Marxism-Leninism, you are not a communist in my book.
Okay, so...
And Trotsky deviated very heavily from Leninism.
So you are a Marxist-Leninist.
Yes.
And some people who claim to be communists, they may say, yeah, I'm a Trotskyite or whatever. Right?
They don't even say that. They're just liberals who don't even understand what communism is.
Okay.
They're the type to say China isn't communist. They're the type to say the Soviet Union wasn't communist.
What do they say about North Korea?
They probably say the same thing too. They're the type that say everything was not real communism, and I know what the real communism is. Those are Trotskyites.
I hear that from
actual communists say
well.
Stalin was communist, Mao was communist, Deng is communist. Those are actual communists. If you don't say Stalin, Mao, Deng, Kim Il-sung, Ho Chi Minh were communists, you are not a communist.
Is Fidel Castro a communist?
I have to do more research on that.
How about the Maduro?
I don't know too much about him, so I can't comment on that.
How about
I don't think even he says he is, does he?
well, I don't know. Even if he said he was, like, maybe he isn't in your view.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, Stalin, Mao, Deng, those are the big people. If you don't say those, all three of those are communists.
Russian, Chinese. Oh, Stalin was Georgian, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of North Korea, what about when the Olympics announced South Korea as a
Yeah, it sounds like they did it.
I mean, the
on
French
purpose,
Olympics
right?
just seems like a total shit show.
Yeah,
Literally,
it's
I
just
mean, they're
crazy.
having people swim in the Seine, which is like literally the dirtiest body of water I've ever seen.
Oh.
And even that trans show, I don't get that.
They're
too.
actually swimming in the river.
Yeah.
Oh, it was in the middle of the.
Yeah, that's why when the protests were happening, they were like trying to have the river filled with shit, like literal human shit. Like there was like this movement asking people to like literally take a dump in
over there.
What movement?
It was like maybe a month ago. There were
Who was this movement?
You know, I don't actually remember the details. They were protesting against
the Olympics.
Something with the Olympics. Was it with what's happening in Israel?
Like
I forget,
globalism.
actually.
Israel. Oh, okay.
But I know Russia is banned.
Russia's banned.
Russia's banned. Israel's not. From France.
Yeah.
Olympics. Why?
White supremacy, basically. And that's the short answer.
It seems
Western
like do you think
imperialism.
there's almost zero infiltration of Western, the deep state, so-called infiltration to Russia? There is no no, right? Almost zero, right?
That's why
that's
America
what I
hates
think.
them.
Yeah,
Because
that's what I think.
If they were infiltrated, they wouldn't even do any of this stuff because they'd already be under their control.
So when you say deep state, central bank system too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the financial. The capitalist financial system.
Yeah, I think they didn't infiltrate. They failed on that one.
But like, it's just.
That's why they're
I think
pissed.
it's more. Putin was trying to play ball with the West for the longest time.
Yeah, I know. He talked about it during the interview with Tucker Carlson.
But what he didn't want to do was give that exact. He didn't want to give that deep state presence in his own country. But he was willing to trade and he was willing to whatever open up his economy. But he didn't want he wanted everything to be Russian controlled in terms of like the other stuff. And that's why America didn't like that because they want to have total control, right? They want to have.
So when Putin said that, hey, to Bill Clinton back in the day, hey, we would join NATO. Do you think he was?
I think he was
effing with them, or
no. I think he was.
He genuinely meant it,
yeah.
right?
Just to clear it
so
up,
I think
though,
that kind of shows that who's on the dark side. That kind of dialogue between both of them.
Yeah.
Just to really quick clear it up, I guess Parisians were protesting the poor quality of the river's water.
The poor quality of the river.
Yeah, I guess for 50 years.
Because I heard that's
unrelated to.
Because I heard that
for
Seine
50
River,
years it was the Seine, like untreated sewage went into.
I heard that
Seine.
it's so disgusting. The Seine River, that it smells bad. It has
Why
bad
would
odor
they
there.
even have the swim
They
stuff
even
there?
had like the Parisian mayor swim in it to be like, it's clean, and it's like, no, it's not.
You know what?
It's
that
like
reminds me of,
Obama, right?
Obama
when Barack
and
Obama
Flint.
went to Flint, Michigan, and he didn't even put it in his mouth, right? I don't think he even touched the water.
Should have gulped that shit down.
It's fine. It's fine.
All right. So, Juhyun Park is not a communist. All right.
Trotskyite.
Thank you for interesting topics and talks. A listener from Korea. Oh, you're welcome. D. Wallace, this person seems to comment a lot. Not gonna lie, if Sumi Terry was actually a South Korean spy, that would be based. At least then there's a bit more evidence that South Korea is standing up for its own interests and not maintaining its role as a U.S. lapdog as it's so often
Yeah,
seems.
I mean, South Korea even killed the spy back in the 70s. It's called Koreagate. You know, the way that they murdered that dude was very violent. What do you call that machine? You know, where you just shred the meat.
A grinder?
A grinder, yeah. They got rid of the U.S. guy that way.
What year was that?
In a grinder?
It was in the 70s.
While
I
he
think
was
it was
alive?
Yeah. 70.
Wait, Koreans put someone through a meat grinder?
Yeah.
I think
American dude.
I think really
North Korea has never done this, right?
Yeah, South Korea did it. Yeah. But it's not official. But the guy who did it said it right before.
Actually,
he
we
died,
don't
during the
know what
interview.
North Korea has done, technically, theoretically, just to be unbiased.
Yeah. So, yeah, because this kind of reminds me of what happened in the 70s. Because
I mean, they
there was
kidnapped Japanese.
because a lot of
North Korea did.
and actually Park Chung Hee went against America because Park Chung Hee wanted to make their own nuke. So there was
And then he was killed
There's
by
a
the
conspiracy
CIA.
that he was a KCIA agent, Kim Jae-gyu,
Yeah.
but people have been saying that he might have been a puppet. I mean, he might have been an agent
CIA.
for U.S. CIA. So, but
So
yeah.
Park Chung Hee was killed by the United States, possibly.
I mean, that's a
Possible.
conspiracy. Yeah, there's a
If
conspiracy
Korean
about it.
conservatives knew that, would they still be pro-U.S.? Would they still be Chinmi?
Yeah, because that is kind of considered one of the conspiracy theory. You know, when we talk about conspiracy theory here,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
one of the
So
conspiracy
if it were
theory.
true, if it came out that it was true,
Yeah,
what do you
so
think?
I
How do
think
you
back
they-
then, you know, I don't think when I
No,
was
no, hold on.
Huh?
I'm just
What?
asking you a different question. I'm
What?
saying if it were true, if it came out, there was evidence.
Oh
that the
yeah,
CIA was
then
wrong,
I think it
what
would.
do you think they would say?
I think there will be there would have been demonstrations on the streets all over the
Okay.
place. Yeah, without a doubt.
So they would be anti-American, the
Yeah, I
conservatives.
think so because I remember, you know, Korea was filled with demonstrations. When I was growing up, it was demonstration on the streets every day.
Yeah, but that was under the military dictatorship,
Oh,
right?
yeah, exactly. So, but I think that was the Korean spirit. If they
That was
would have
under Chun
known,
Do-won, though,
if they
right?
would have known that a U.S. spy did that, you know, I think it would have been caused a huge outrage.
You don't think there would be some
question.
Korean conservatives like justifying it, saying, "Well, you know, it was for a good reason," or
No, there definitely
Nah,
would
I
be.
don't think
There would be
that
some.
logic wouldn't play. No.
Yeah, there would be
There
some.
would be some.
Nah,
I don't think the
that would be
majority.
very few, though. I think
Yeah.
if it's flat out official that America killed a leader in
That would
South
never happen.
Korea, that I think you can't win the public's opinion with that.
I mean,
so.
There-
So even the conservatives would turn against.
there-
Yeah, I
there's
mean, of
actually
course.
there's actually a growing source.
Because the dude was a conservative. You know, Park Chung Hee ran as a conservative, but he was the one who wanted to go against America
I
and
have
make
a
their
source
own nuke.
that's telling me that like in South Korea, there's like a growing movement of ultra right wing
Yeah,
people
yeah.
who are like worshiping the Japanese emperor.
No, that I never heard of.
I know this is like extreme
Yeah,
ultra
probably,
right.
Yeah, I
right-wing.
mean, there's always
And
crazies
so
all over the place.
Those people probably would be like, "Oh yeah, that was a good thing."
Oh, yeah. I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
Maybe some of them are in Japan. I don't know.
So yeah, but I would think Park Chung Hee wanted to control America. You know, like that's why he put spies in America and lobbied, bribed American politicians, and sometimes probably hired prostitutes to compromise them. But they got caught.
Okay. Here's another comment.
That's a long one.
Yeah, I'll try to read it as fast as I can.
Oh, jeez.
It's so funny. I'm familiar with last week's guest, JT Tran, and familiar with the individuals doing this American Communist Party. Two totally different areas of the internet, and you talked about both in 2 weeks straight. I can see how JT plays on dudes to get them to fall for his pickup artist stuff. Honestly, can't believe he's still around. But here he was last week. Ha ha ha. The guy on the left, very left view of the video, not to be confused with far left political ideology.
Thank you for acknowledging that.
Didn't seem to be falling for JT's stuff last week, but this week he totally played into the supposed Asian male inferiority complex by pushing stuff about ACP not wanting an Asian frontman. Well, I said that too, right? And consciously or even subconsciously leaving them out, thinking they would think that it would make the organization look bad. Even after Doug expressed that the group didn't like to focus on identity politics. I don't know if the guy was trolling or serious, but it was brought up a few times. Let's be real. These guys, ACP guys, already get a ton of hate. There's no way they would give a fuck about that. I think they do have some good points, and also some members said some really fucked up stuff online to cause drama, to get clout, and used other people, which I disagree with that tactic, but I guess it worked. I was watching Hinkle when he was at 5K or so. I enjoyed his stream and him calling out politicians, and I felt he was genuine. But he's really starting to get bigger after Ukraine war started, and you have people like Colonel Douglas McGregor on his stream, by the way. While I appreciate his word coverage, I also have genuine criticisms of him, like the way he used people. Adriana Lee copying Eva Bartlett, Vanessa Beeley, and Fiorella Isabel without giving them credit, and rage baiting on Twitter for clout, which I think isn't very cool. He had a good message, and lots of former supporters dropped him because he lost his decency for what looked like to me just to try to look cool to other young dudes. All that said, I wish the best for the ACP. They have a lot of cool, nice, smart people, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. So is it true that he was copying people? Because I know Eva Bartlett.
I'm sure he tweet stole. I mean, everyone fucking does that. I mean, he's just kind of like, it's just jiggering the algorithm.
I used to be in Facebook, active in certain groups. Yeah. And then I would notice some of the stuff that I would write there would get slightly reworded and then posted on Twitter by like an influencer of.
So it'll be plagiarized.
And I'm like,
so to speak.
Did this influencer just take my little Facebook
it's like,
comment?
It's like joke stealing in comedy.
But he's like
people aren't original anymore.
Anyway,
if you joke steal,
it goes with the territory of social media.
But if you joke steal, don't they get banned pretty much these days?
I mean, so it's not that you get banned; you just get blacklisted. From, like if you do it a lot and people know you're
provable.
Yeah, people know that it's just kind of like the comedy scene is kind of like a tight knit community.
Yeah, so they all know each other.
So
and
yeah,
stuff,
you
right?
don't really joke steal, and like a lot, like you shouldn't or whatever. It's looked down upon.
I mean, a lot of them do.
But yeah, it's like
especially for TV specials,
especially if they're already higher up,
yeah.
and they go to like smaller comedy clubs and they find a joke that they like.
Because it is sometimes people do think of the same joke around the same time. Like it happens, you know what I mean? So it's hard to really prove it unless you show like a history. Which is like with almost anything, you should be able to show a history of a pattern of behavior.
Yeah, like it's like that saying: one's a mistake, two's a whatever, and then three's like
that's on purpose, right?
Yeah. Doug might want to check out. Okay, they're just calling you a racist prick. What else? This one. PSL is heavily into anti-imperialism. The Answer Coalition is who is doing all those anti-genocide protests. You should watch Breakthrough News. They even covered DPRK today. ACP is a white boy thing. The host knows what's up. What is this? What did I stumble upon? From thrill to disappointment in the first 5 minutes. Thanks, Doug. Okay. Someone enjoyed this a lot.
Thank you.
This one is... Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
Nope.
Korean-born American citizen here. Let's just... Okay, modern-day Democrats are full-blown communists. Do you agree with that, Doug?
No.
Hell no, right?
Oh. You're very against
That's
modern
what
day,
That's
right?
what ACP is trying to eliminate. Yeah, exactly.
So the ACP people, they don't want them to be lump summed in the Democratic Party,
exactly.
Right? And that is happening, right?
Yes. On purpose.
Purpose.
We believe it's on purpose. The CIA is literally trying to make the Democrats look like they're communists to keep this like ping pong ball going against the Republicans and Democrats.
And the ones who is conscious about this and to point this out, do you say very few percentage among the communism community, right?
Is this your fan, Stephen Lee?
I don't fucking know who.
No, I was asking Michael Wan.
Who?
I was asking
Stephen Lee, no, never heard of him.
He left a very long comment and...
What did he say?
Wait, you really don't have anything else?
Yeah.
Well, we got about 7 more minutes.
Of comments?
I didn't have time to prepare everything this morning. Yeah.
We could just talk about anything else. Main.
It's just going to be Trump.
No, main stuff. I don't talk about this. Well, we can talk about Biden, U.S. Supreme Court.
It's either going to be Trump or trans. Wait, Biden Supreme Court, what?
He wants to increase it, he wants to pack the court.
Would have been an update on the...
Because it is a presidential election year,
Mostly just me being intimidated.
Only 99 days left now.
Oh, this guy, this is a Korean guy, actually.
He's
been emailing me, actually.
In all caps.
So he says, oh my God, I got the receipts on Jackson Hinkle. So DJ Elf, he's a Korean guy, I think in New York. I got the receipts on Jackson Hinkle, a.k.a. the founder of MAGA Communism, and he makes his own videos too. Oh my fucking God, Doug is a fan of Hinkle and has, oh my fucking God, no. I was interfacing with Hinkle because I'm actually on the ground, and Hinkle blew up because he was being brought up by Jimmy Dore and Nick Brana. Here's how you know that Hinkle is whack. At their anti-war rallies, they don't even have white victims of war. Plus, they have been pushing a 2 times convicted pedophile into the movement over a fellow Korean, a.k.a.
White
me.
victims of war. The whole point is of anti-imperialism.
Wait, who's the convicted pedo?
Yeah, I don't know who... Yeah, if you're watching this, please let us know who's the convicted pedophile. And who are the...
Scott Ritter. He wrote it on the comment above.
Oh, let me tell you how whack the Rage Against the War Machine event. They don't even have white war victims on. Nope, it's just a bunch of millionaires profiting off the anti-war movement while pushing war victims like me off the stage. Oh my fucking God. Then they be pushing pedophile Scott Ritter into the war movement, and Supreme from Wu-Tang called out their lies and BS, and he did it on my show. So I guess, yeah, some people are not for this Jackson Hinkle thing.
Yeah.
And I saw even Caleb Maupin. Aren't you cool with Caleb?
I'm cool with Caleb, but they have beef themselves. But I'm not getting into that.
So you're not picking sides on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Because Caleb I don't think he's a supporter of the ACP. Roy seems to be a supporter of the ACP. He made a statement.
He doesn't want you saying his English name.
I didn't say his last name.
All right, fine, whatever.
And nobody knows who I'm talking about when I say Roy.
Okay.
Because I didn't use his Chinese name. Okay.
Whoever Scott Ritter is, he is a convicted child sex offender.
Yeah, so why is MAGA communist? Why is Jackson Hinkle using a child?
Yeah.
Isn't that hurting the movement?
I don't know exactly what this is about.
Man, if that's true, this is could this been a psyop just to discredit communism again?
He was charged in June 2001, excuse me, trying to set up a meeting with an undercover police officer posing as a 16-year-old girl.
Was he actually convicted?
And then he was arrested again in 2009 for the same thing. Yeah, he was convicted, sentenced to 1.5 to 5.5 years in prison.
Wow.
And then he was caught masturbating in his car at the park.
I swear.
I mean, that's just
but
communists.
Just put it out
that's
there.
just weird.
Yeah. Communist movements seem to attract some interesting types, huh?
Or at least like they didn't do their research or justify it.
I don't think
somehow.
Scott Ritter is officially part of the ACP, or though. I don't.
Anyway,
Scott
Jimmy
Ritter,
Dore covered this ACP story, right?
Yeah.
Scott Ritter. Who is Scott Ritter? Oh, he's a former Marine? Is it this guy?
And former UN weapons inspector.
Yeah, this guy's 63. So when he was 40, he was trying to meet a 16-year-old. And then he was masturbating.
Yeah.
In a park. And now this guy's involved with communists. Hey, they better kick his ass out if they want any credibility.
I mean, I don't think he's officially part of the ACP. Does it say anything about that?
Well, I don't know. I'm just going by what the Korean guy who commented.
That guy, if you look at that guy's YouTube channel, his videos are kind of
what
you can see for yourself.
What's
just
up?
Click on one, for example.
We can't really hear the audio though, so
I don't think it
he has
that much.
They seem pretty. I don't know. Yeah, I can't.
Just like pick. I don't know. Pick any one of them.
The most popular one that was done this year. Nope. Let's see. 7 months ago, video that plays grunge rock.
Pick one. Pick any one. You'll
Electric
see what I'm
violin.
talking about in like 5 seconds. Wait, this is just a performance video.
Oh, 5 seconds, you said. Okay. I see what you mean. Yeah. A lot of editing and stuff. Yeah. Okay.
All his videos are exactly like that.
So you're a subscriber, right?
No.
Oh, you're not.
You just spent one afternoon.
Is he also a communist?
Yeah, because I saw him commenting on our YouTube, so I was like, "Oh, who is this guy?" And then I was like, "Oh, this."
Is he a communist?
I don't know what the fuck he is. I just looked at his videos and I was like, "This guy is a little off kilter."
He wants to be on the show, on Zoom, I guess. That might be interesting.
That's up to about you.
I'm curious to hear what, like, is he a communist or is he a libertarian or what is he?
That's up to you.
Who should communists vote for come November then? Democrat or or withhold votes?
No.
Most of them withhold votes.
Just like don't support anyone.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Just local politicians.
Let's wrap it up, guys. Hey, that's it for today.
Korea was number 1, dropped to number 5 today. Olympics. I'm talking about Olympics. They were number 1 until this morning.
All right, thanks for the Olympic update, Mike. We'll be back. Don't forget to follow Ed Choi on Instagram and TikTok at Etcheskeg, ETCHSKEG.
Everything's in the description. Everything should be in the description.
Youngsuk _1 over here. Michael Wan. I'm RLAWNS213. Doug is Doug Fantastic on Instagram, and I am Douglas Kim on X. Like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to our channel, and smash that notification bell.
Really convincing them to do that.
Tell all your
Smash
friends,
that like button.
Tell all your friends to
and
watch.
that notification bell.
And if you want to be on this show because you got something you want to say to the community, or you have some comments, you leave a comment and maybe we'll talk about it or something. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Boom.
Boom.
Wait, so are we just doing one then? Because like
no, we are, but I don't know what to talk about. I got to. Is there any? Oh, Alice and Chala thing. That's a big thing.
That's what I said. That's what I said before. But you were like, oh, let's just look at the comments.
So, well, we can.
He got arrested.
Yeah. But it was the complete opposite of what
Someone just sent me screenshots earlier of some lady.
You were suspicious about the mom.
No, it still is suspicious about the mom. She was.